the 5 weeks that they took off, that was one of the lasting things Vrabel talked about was they're very important. He said that everyone met the expectations. Stephon Diggs, ready to go, cleared and passed his physical, and can practice with no limitations. And he credited Epps, who has the same surgery that we'll get into him later. But for the most part, he's been encouraged by everything the team did for those 5 weeks.
Yeah, and I think it's work environment too. Like they're stepping that up, sense of urgency. You heard that thrown around. They're going to be moving. The offense is going to be doing one thing against the defense, and then something else is going to be going on over here. So they're going to get as much accomplished, I think, while they're out there on the field. And it looks like the timing of these practices are going to be smack right there in the late morning. So that's good. Good for fans to get down there and check them out.
And he talked about maximizing the time, and that doesn't necessarily mean going 100% all the time, right? He talked about how they're going to have some install days. He talked about tailoring even the contact periods in certain ways so that they're not taxing guys too much physically. Last year, it just felt like they just got into 11 on 11 and went, and that was the whole practice. And I think this year is going to be a lot more varied, a lot more nuanced. Yeah, just another thing Vrabel said, and we'll get into more of this, and you can certainly react at 617-779-0985. That's the phone number. The last question, I believe, was from Gasper, his impact on winning. And he kept talking about teaching and developing and connecting with the players. Yep.
I'm not sure they were able to do that the last couple of years. And what I mean by that is a lot of these guys get drafted, get thrown in, and there was expectation there. There are expectations, don't get me wrong. But I think he wants to teach them how he wants them to play and connect with them. And he talked about buckets, right? The good, the bad, and don't get beat.
Right.
So I felt like that was his impact on the team.
And I like that answer because that goes back to something that I've been big on. He had that answer in his introductory press conference when he was asked about the pillars of his program and saying, we're not good enough to overcome bad football, and we need to be better than that. And do you look at their schedule? There's a lot of bad football on their schedule this year. If they can just take advantage of bad football, that could be 6 or 7 wins right there. So we heard Jabril Peppers mention that too in the Forge and Foxborough clip with him. So it's nice to hear that continues to be a theme, and he feels they're making progress in that regard.
This guy's for real. He ain't messing around. Be ready to go down there. If the team's ready to go, the media better be ready to go.
I was going to say, if he's going to set an expectation to the players and himself, and speaking of urgency and time, we got to be on our stuff.
Jesus,
too,
I got to sit down with him tomorrow. First one for all access. I better have ready to go.
That's sort of a window into the fact that he is most certainly not Bill Belichick, and he's most certainly not Gerard Mayo.
Can I tell you this? Doing post game, I would wait and wait and wait for the coach. Wait. There were times. Now, last year, he came right out and got fired.
Right.
All right? But there were times we would wait for Bill and be like, what the? I'll never forget that when Brady came back that game. Where the hell was he?
It was like I think they were talking, right? Him and Brady were talking. But no, there were games where he'd be last after all the players.
No, I like that. And by the way, that hasn't been a thing here. There's been no consistency on when a quarterback speaks or a coach speaks or whatever. He was prompt. He was on time. We promoted the fact that there was going to be an 11:30 press conference. He might have been there right at 11:29, to be honest with you. But I felt that today when he talked about urgency in a way that they practice. No time to waste. We have to learn about the next situation, and he talked about it as huddle in a play. When you run a play, get right back into the huddle to be ready for the next situation, and that's urgency. I said this yesterday, and Alex, you talked about it when he was doing the press conference. I'm noticing urgency in many different areas, whether it's getting a guy signed, whether it's a guy being ready for day one, whether it's signing a guy, etc. There's urgency. I think he set that expectation, and I like the fact that the next situation is the next one he's preparing for, and he wants to get everybody in order on that.
Plus, he said, I'm not going to answer the same question twice. What was he asked about? 90? No, 91.
91, yeah, he had that on top of his head, too.
He's ready to go. That's a good sign. It's a good sign for the football team.
I think the Patriots need this. There's been 5 years of this, right?
I don't know if you were in a coma or if you were tweeting. Was that the response?
Does that qualify as drama for you guys?
Wow, that's drama. That's a little bit of drama.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure. Hey, writers.
I'll take it.
Alex, you do your job. But hey, writers, don't have a donut and come in late and not hear a question.
What the hell is this in your locker, pal?
By the way, yesterday, I want to keep the callers responsible. There's a segment when the hosts aren't listening. How about when the listeners aren't listening?
You lost it.
I think I have it right. If Mike Vrabel is setting urgency, I'm going to set urgency with everybody. Damn it.
Love it.
Why is it? Yeah, why wasn't Private Pyle's box locked? Why wasn't it?
Because the jelly donut was in it.
That's right. Anything else, Alex? I had urgency. He mentioned the guys that were placed on PUP.
Yep.
He set an expectation for everything. When have we ever seen transparency with the New England Patriots?
No, that he's straight up. Carlton Davis will be back out there. Jelani Tavai. I think there was even one guy.
Today,
I think it was
tomorrow.
Actually, I think it was Josh Minkins, your guy, who said, might be
Number
a couple
16,
days,
though.
but he'll be out there soon. Kind of laid it all out. Not a lot of guessing in there.
Just so you guys want to go, Josh Minkins Jr. was on the night show. Had him on last week. Nice little interview.
You did?
I sent it to you. It was out by text, so I'm going to hold you responsible by saying he's wearing number 16.
Oh, nice.
And I put you over.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to have Zoe come say hi to you, is what I said. So now you're going to have to go say hi to him. You probably know his dad, but he and his college coach for one game, Deion Branch at the Fenway Bowl.
Huh.
He'll be a safety for the Patriots this year. Tavai's back, huh? Remember, didn't he have a scary incident?
He did, and then it was kind of reported after it looked scary, and then it was reported after the fact that he dodged a major injury. So I thought he might miss a little bit of time. That's a good sign for him. That's a guy that's right on the bubble, is going to be fighting for a roster spot, one of those depth linebacker spots. So good news for him that he'll be back out there. Good news for them that Carlton Davis will be back out there. That was kind of the one big surprise in terms of the players who were included of those 7 guys on those lists on whatever it was, Saturday. Not expecting Carlton Davis to pop up there, but it sounds like whatever that issue was, it's been taken care of, and he'll be out there. So that's an important guy. Him and Christian Gonzalez, I said this back in March, and I'll say it again. I do like Harold Landry. I think he's a good player. I think Caleb Von Chason's a nice little pickup. The best thing they did for their pass rush was sign Carlton Davis, because between him and Christian Gonzalez, and then if both of the safeties are healthy and Duggar and Peppers, that's a really good secondary. And there's going to be a lot more time now for these pass rushers to get after the quarterback. I think you're going to see, if everybody's healthy, quite a few coverage sacks this year, because I think they're just that good in the secondary. But Carlton Davis is a big part of that. And
it was also confirmed, Big T is back.
Yep.
Terrell Williams is there. One thing he did mention that I'm been questioning the run defense. Mm-hmm. Wasn't Terrell Williams like a stout defensive line coach?
Yeah.
You just talked about Davis coming in and having those guys can kind of help out the rest of the defense.
Yeah.
Well, if Terrell Williams can put an emphasis on that defensive line, I think it's the layers and where it's going to help out. I still talk about the safety position, but they can get that D-line on right, and defense can have.
D-line looks formidable. You get all their health out there. You get Barmore. You get Williams. You get
White.
White. Harold Landry. Spillane in the middle. Like, there's no depth behind Spillane. That's something to keep an eye on too. But and then roll the dice on the other side. Get the kid from LSU. He's an edge guy. He was supposed to go second, first round. Dropped all the way down to the 5th. It's a formidable front 7 for you. And then you get your 2 corners, got safeties.
The one thing I do wonder that we'll be watching, Milton Williams really didn't play the run in Philly. Never played more than 50% of the snaps. There was a situational pass rush.
I can't wait to see what his role is going to be. I want to know what the front's going to be. I want to know if it's under, if it's going to be over.
So he's going to have a bigger role. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. He's not playing 50% of the snaps after signing that contract. That number's going to be closer to 75, 80. So, you have him. You have Barmore coming back after missing most of last year when they were just not a good run team. They have Kyrus Tonga, who's that true nose tackle, but he's a pure situational player. That's not a guy that's going to be out there on 1st and 10.
Jeremiah Farms back.
Jeremiah Farms is back. He's another guy that's probably more situational.
Right?
Being able to stop the run on 1st and 10, that's Milton Williams, that's Christian Barmore, that's Keon White. And how do those guys look? And that's where you look at somebody like Terrell Williams and the rest of this coaching staff that has had success developing players on the defensive front. And that's where I think a guy that they drafted, Joshua Farmer out of Florida State, has a chance to earn a big role, because he is a plus run player. A lot of these guys are primarily pass rushers. Joshua Farmer is a plus run player. And if they are having trouble stopping the run early, or if he's just that good at it, he could work his way into a regular role.
So full transparency, I wasn't in love with the Vrabel hire at the time. I wanted an offensive mind. I feel like that's where the league's going. Listening to Vrabel, he has my attention.
Yeah.
Yep.
The transparency's real. He is setting an expectation. I mean, isn't this what we ask for? And
I mean, right there, just the way he ran that press conference is going to make sure that your ass is going to be there on time, and we're going to get through this, and everybody's going to listen. And we're not going to jack around with repetitive questions.
But as a player, isn't that what you want? Like,
Yeah.
don't you want to know, hey, today we're going to run.
Let's go.
And he even mentioned the 5 weeks off, running certain conditioning drills. So when we do it, you're ready to go. They basically said, this is what I want you to work on. And when you come in, we're going to find out who can pass, who isn't ready. So again, as a player, I'm sure, Zoe, you can speak to this. When you know what's expected of you, right?
Yep.
That means that you can look at film, and he talked about it when it comes to buckets. If you have an expectation, you'll see what you've done wrong. You'll see how you got beat, but at the same time, they're going to show you what you did well. Though that's all you ask for in a coach, right? Hey, I'm here to show up. I'm in shape, but I want to be coached well and in transparent. I just never thought they'd see transparency with the New England Patriots ever.
Well, there it is. You just saw it. You just heard it.
It's there, everybody. Your thoughts on Mike Vrabel's press conference today, 617-779-0985. I'm starting to think Mike Vrabel will have an impact on the team winning.
That's nice. Good for you,
I
Joe.
didn't feel that way. No, I just thought that maybe it was normalcy or
just
comfort of familiarity.
Yeah.
No, now I think
you saw the more jovial Vrabel. This is the let's go to work.
Yeah, but go to work, but I now see where he makes an impact, right? And the other thing I want to bring up is we've talked a lot about the defense and the expectation here. Yeah. How does Mike Vrabel help the offense? And I think the line has needed some consistency. I think the quarterback position, he even mentioned limiting turnovers and how to hold the football while wearing pads. These are the little details I think some of these guys who come from college, right? The new college game is NIL and, cater to these guys. They might not know how to do certain things. I think Vrabel wants to initiate these things in camp. And once the pads are on, it's a full-time competition.